Yeah, I'm stacking them, yeah, yeah.
Riding with country bass, country bass.
Yeah, I'm stacking them, yeah, yeah.
Riding with country bass, country bass.
I'm stacking them, yeah, yeah.
Riding with country bass, country bass.
Yeah, I'm stacking them, yeah, yeah.
Riding with country bass, country bass.
Yeah, I'm stacking them, yeah, yeah.
Riding with country bass, country bass.
Yeah, I'm
Yo, happy Thursday, everybody. Bitcoin Chris checking in yet again. I am in the car. It's about to, it's just about to start raining. I feel like, I don't know if it's a guy thing or if it's just a me thing. But I like to sit in the car sometimes, or if I'm driving, I like to sit in silence sometimes. And I feel like I can think a lot clearer in the car. I feel like whenever I do get home or get to the destination, just sitting in like I always can get I can always get stuff done when I'm in the car. Because I'm in the car, I'm not going to be able to go over the Bitcoin TA, but we can always look at the charts, of course, and just check out what's going on as far as Bitcoin goes. You guys have been seeing my tweets and my targets from previous lives. I hope you guys are having a good day. Of course, make sure you head over to bitcoindadfiatdad.com, pre-order the new book, get some Bitcoin merch. We're coming into wintertime. We got the big B hoodies. Make sure you guys do that. Today we're going to talk about, the Bitcoin life, and we're going to talk about the everything scam, because it's funny that I just listened to a lot of different people, and a lot of us are in this bubble. And so a lot of things that I've said over the past 4 years, it's just, it's just being revealed to me that I was on the right path the whole time, per usual. And that when you're ahead of your time, you look crazy like Bitcoiners. We look crazy now, right? Because we understand how money works. But in the moment, again, we look crazy now, but in the future, we're going to be geniuses, right? Per usual. Just like Da Vinci and, Max and Stacy and everybody else, Adam Back and Samson and everybody that's been, trailblazing what's going on with Bitcoin. So it's 555. I think that the angels are always sending me numbers like that, to let me know I'm on the right path. I saw 111. I saw 1111 today. Right now we have 555. So shout out to the angels that are with me, making sure that I'm on the right path. Bitcoin is dumping right now, so we're at 57,000, or a little bit of dumpy. We're on 1 hour, yeah, 1 hour time frame. Little bit dumpy here. Yeah, this is not going to do justice for you guys, but it's basically we have a red dot on the 1 hour. Our resistance is at 58,000. Remember, my target was 60,000. Still haven't gotten there yet. Um, and then I had alerts at that 6.18, that I talked about in a couple lives ago. So keep looking out for the lives and keep looking out for the levels that I talked about. And if you're trading, be careful. If you're not trading and stacking up your Bitcoin, stack more Bitcoin and chill. Head over to swanbitcoin.com/Bitcoin Chris. Get your $10 free Bitcoin and make sure you get your fold card. That's you scan that QR code right here in the corner here, and you can get your fold card if you haven't yet. If you're gonna pay bills, then you might as well get Bitcoin back. You know, cash back, right? So Bitcoin back, aka the real money back, right? So the Bitcoin life, we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to jump into the everything is scam that I've already been talking about for the past 4 years, and even before that, because I was gifted enough and blessed enough to receive understanding and wisdom about the society and system that we're in. So the Bitcoin life, when you're a Bitcoiner, you don't care about, you don't really care about you start to get to a point where materialistic things really doesn't matter, right? You start to understand that these things are really distractions. You start to understand that the society that we live in here in the United States is built on fraud. It's built on the rat race and slavery, basically, right? You're going to be a slave to the dollar. You're going to be enslaved to what's going on because you have to continue to quote unquote work to pay bills, to get your life on track, or to do and pay for whatever you need to pay. Which is, kind of crazy when you understand the Bill of Exchange Act, when you understand that these bills have coupons on the bottom of it. If you guys watch my other live, I was talking about the Bill of Exchange, and I was telling you guys and showed you guys that it's a payment coupon, and how when you go to a store and you use a coupon, it's what redeemable as cash. So you got to understand these things. I highly recommend you guys reading the Bill of Exchange. I tweeted the Bill of Exchange, broken down by some journalists, and was also looked over and I think edited by an accountant. Anyway, I posted it. I posted the Federal Reserve Act, Section 16. I posted the Bill of Exchange Act. I'm posting all these things so you guys can read, because I can only tell you guys so much. You have to do your own due diligence. You have to read, and you have to get to a point where you're reading more than anything. Because if you do not read and you don't have the comprehension, then what you're doing now is what you're going to continue to always do. No new information coming in, no new output will be coming out. All the same input going in, you're going to have the same input coming out. New information in, new output out, right? So when you're a Bitcoiner, again, you start to realize and start to get the you start to wake up from the American dream, because the only time you could have believed the American dream was 30, 40, 50 years ago, when inflation wasn't running rampant, when Oh, I got a call coming in. Let me put on do not disturb. They always trying to, they always trying to disturb me when I have the craziest information to drop to you guys. How do I put my phone on DND? What is that? Do not disturb right now. Oh, there it is. Do not disturb. Cool. All right. So move my seat back a little bit. So, like I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by that phone call. The American dream. So this leads into a lot of what I want to talk about, and it's just so much, and I don't even know how to articulate this, correctly. Um, but I have to get it off my chest. There's a lot of things that I've been saying that I feel like just people don't listen to. People don't understand. People continue to do the same things over and over again and expect different results, and it's mind blowing and mind boggling to me. And it just makes me understand that unfortunately, we can't save everybody. We can't help everybody. Not everybody's gonna own Bitcoin. They're gonna probably have to work for Bitcoin. Not everybody's gonna be able to withstand the ups and downs and the volatility of Bitcoin. They're gonna sell their Bitcoin. They're gonna regret it. you know, they're not going to read the Bill of Exchange Act. They're not going to invest. They're not going to stop sending their kids to a school that's going to teach them how to be sheep and to do the same exact thing that they want to do. There's just so much that I want to go over. It's just mind boggling that so little amount of people actually understand what's going on. So it starts with the money, which is why Bitcoin is so important. When you understand what's going on with our money, you understand that this whole system is fraud. The whole system is bullshit, and we're all slaves, right? You're a slave to the dollar. Hence why there's an all-seeing eye. This is Lucifer's money. This is the devil's money. This is the thing that they use to control and enslave everybody, whether you know it, whether you want to accept it, whether you believe it or not. It is the truth. And the worst thing about the dollar is how much value it's lost over the amount of time that it's been around. So just like every other fiat currency, the dollar will go bye bye. The dollar will die, and they can, make sure that it lasts longer than we can anticipate or we can guess. However, the dollar will slowly but surely continue to lose value. I think it's already down 98% or some crazy number, 95, 99%, which is absolutely crazy, right? So, the American dream, you had to be asleep to believe it because, and you had to be alive you had to be alive 30, 40, 50 years ago, right? When our parents were growing up, when our grandparents were growing up, they got the greatest, they came up in the greatest time in American history, right? The dollar was strong. They could buy a house for the low. Only one person had to work in the household. Even in the 90s was pretty great, right? Which is, we're in 2024, 20 something odd years ago, 20 plus years ago, you know, the dollar was super strong, right? I remember rent being $500. Somebody tweeted this too. Rent was $500 when we were growing up. Now it's like 2 grand. That just shows you inflation. And people don't seem to understand it. And people seem to just don't care about money. People seem to just spend their time trying to make money to pay the bills. And this is something that I've always had a problem with. My problem, even to this day, is okay, there's nothing wrong with working hard or working diligently because I don't think you should be working hard. You should be working smarter, not harder. I don't have any problems with anybody working hard or smarter. I have a problem with you and with everybody just going to work just to pay bills. That is the problem that I have. And if you don't have that problem, then, you know, again, you must be asleep and you must think it's okay to just barely get by. Even if you're not getting by, you should not be working just to pay bills. There is something deeply wrong with society and where we are seeing plenty of people on TikTok, plenty of people on Instagram complaining about the cost of living, complaining about the cost of food, complaining about the cost of everything. Everybody's saying, "Oh, Donald Trump this, Kamala this, Kamala that, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that." They are not going to be able to handle or change the inflation. Sorry to bust your bubble, but nobody's coming to save you, okay? And nobody can stop inflation unless they burn, unless they burn, all the money, right? Not all the money, but whatever they printed in the last 4 years or whatever they printed during 2020, 2021. How are they going to burn all that? They're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to do and reduce inflation. And matter of fact, they're going to be doing rate cuts here real soon. So which means they're going to print more money, to soft landing, all this extra, massive, massive money manipulation, just economic manipulation, so much stuff that we just don't pay any attention to because you're too busy working. You don't read the Federal Reserve Act. You haven't read the Bill of Exchange. You don't know that the banks are the borrowers. You don't know that we are the creditors. Your social security card is the credit card. Like, there's a lot of things that we say or that I say or that people say online that you just goes in one ear and out the other. Like, if I'm telling you guys something like fix your credit, so you can, start to use the bank's money to make money. Been saying that since 2020, telling you to fix your credit since 2017. No, majority of the people I know, which is, and it's the saddest thing, even the people that I know and the closest people to me that I want to help out don't even take the information that I give them. I even tell them I'll fix their credit for free. They still won't even take advantage of it. So, that's the kind of society that we're living in, right? That's the type of people that we are dealing with and have in society. Not to mention, a lot of people probably shouldn't even have an opinion on things, have the right to vote, because there's a lot of stupid people out here. And I said this before, and I don't care who gets offended. If you don't like it, I don't give a fuck. There's a lot of stupid people out here that had the same rights as an educated person. That that it's just crazy to even think about. So I'm gonna digress on the stupidity because we all know how stupid people can be in the United States, and whether or not that's something that we can fix at this point. Who knows, right? Education level, reading level in the United States, super low, right? Super low. But I digress. The Bitcoin life helps you to open your eyes to what's really important in life. It helps you to understand that materialistic things really don't matter in life. It helps you to put things into perspective about what money is and why we are the way that we are and why everything is so broken and how the system is so broken and everything's in chaos, right? Everything's in chaos. Everything might be, okay from the outside looking in. I can only imagine how, other countries are looking at us, you know. Who knows how they're looking at us, but I know they probably laughing, they probably watching us with some popcorn, like, okay, what's happening today in America, right? What's happening today in the United States of America, right? So when you're a Bitcoiner, you get to see what's really going on. Bitcoin is showing you the value, the what is it called? Deceleration of your purchasing power, the acceleration of inflation. It's showing you how much how trash. Want me talking about this at all? No, my phone died. So thank God I got another phone, right? If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like, share, subscribe. If you're watching on X, hit that like button for me. So, whoa, I'm just holding for some reason everything just keeps falling over. All right, cool. So back to what I was saying. I'm not even sure where you guys left off at, or where the phone cut off at. But you know, when you're a Bitcoiner, everything comes into perspective, which leads me into the everything scam, right? When you read the Bill of Exchange Act, you understand that a bill endorsed is a check. When you send in Federal Reserve notes, which is your dollar, and I made a video and posted it online not too long ago. It's notes, it's a Federal Reserve note. Even at Walmart, when you're doing the checkout and you're putting the money in, it says notes, note, 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 promissory note, which means a promise to pay, which means we're on a debt basis. So when you understand we're on a debt based society, that all makes sense, right? Dollars are debt notes, promissory notes. So only real money is gold, silver, and Bitcoin, um, in my opinion. But lawfully is gold and silver, if I'm not mistaken. Look it up. So when you read the Bill of Exchange Act, you know that that can be turned into a check. And when you pay your bills, what do they accept? Check, money orders, and cash, or AKA promissory notes. When you understand that your social security card is the credit card, and the and that when you provide them your social security card, you are providing them an application, which is collateral backs, which is a collateral, right? They sell that on the market, right? It's a security SEC. Oh my God! Once you start to learn what's going on behind the scenes with your applications and with your social security number, and that you're the creditor and the banks are the borrowers, and if they do want to be the creditor, then guess what? The banks are supposed to pay interest. And if the banks are supposed and how do you pay bills? You pay bills with the interest. You gotta start looking into these things, guys. You gotta start looking into these things. It is so crazy how we don't read, how much we don't read, but expect to know what's going on. We are too busy with life, we're too busy working, we're too busy scrolling on Instagram, we're too busy complaining, um, to realize what's going on. So when you understand what is going on, you can then take that information. We got a Karen for a neighbor. So she was just walking by, looking crazy, looking over here. So I already know she's probably going to say something. But here we are. Anyways, anyways, that everything's scam, right? So that's a scam. The money that we use is a scam. So school is a scam. 401k is a scam. We're going to talk about schooling. You want to continue? We're going to talk about the work scam because working is a scam. School is a scam. 401k is a scam. There's so many scams, guys. It's absolutely mind blowing when you start to think about it and understand what's actually going on in the world. So let's start with the schooling, right? You're going to school for 12 years. I don't feel comfortable sending my children to public school for 12 years. One, when you when you look at families in other nationalities, so I look at Asians, I look at the native, I look at Indian people that own businesses here. Um, those are probably just the two main ones that I can think about. When you go to a Chinese restaurant, their kids are at the and these are I mean kids, right? Their kids are literally at the register working and learning business from their parents. They're not in school. It would behoove you to homeschool your children. One, because your children are not going to learn anything about business at school. And I think up until eighth grade is the maximum amount of time that you should have your children in school. There's too much bullshit in public school. There's too much political. There's you got random adults teaching your children what they think is right or just whatever the curriculum is from however old the curriculum is, right? You got bullies, you got unnecessary drama, unnecessary BS, unnecessary everything in schooling that I think we should definitely consider um public school after eighth grade in my opinion, for the children, right? Asians have their kids working for them, working with them, and that's a tax write-off. So not only are your children learning business, you're saving money on your taxes. Same thing with Indians that I've seen. And they go set up shop and they start a business and they keep it moving. Boom, and they have their children in there working. When you're in school from kindergarten to 12th grade, not one time do you learn about anything about business. Not one time you learn anything about taxes. Not one time do you learn anything that is going to be productive after the ninth grade, in my opinion. Unless you're going to be a doctor and you need to learn, or physics and you need to learn trigonometry, and even that, it's like, I don't know. If you're going to be an engineer, okay, cool. Just certain things that I feel like is just unnecessary, and that's the scam that we have our kids in, right? We have our kids. We're doing the same thing that our parents are doing, and we're no longer living in the same reality in the same world that our parents were living in. So that's one. That's the first scam. You expect your children to get out of school and to be successful when you haven't taught them anything about life because you've had society and school teach your kids everything about life. which is not going to prepare them for real life, right? And they're going to prepare them to be sheep and to be workers, right? Because you have lunchtime, you have, you have, you got your lunchtime. You got to ask to go to the bathroom. You got to ask to go somewhere. You got to raise your hand. You got to ask permission. You got to do all this. You got all this slave mentality type of structure that you guys are okay with. I'm not okay with that. I've never been okay with that, and I will never be okay with that. I don't like public school. Private school, cool. Homeschool is the way to go in my opinion, but you guys can do, and obviously that's your children. Do what you want with your kids, all right? And then you guys go and send your damn kids off to college where they go and learn even more things and get influenced by a whole bunch of, you know, crazy thoughts and ideologies and drugs, and they're getting the college experience. The only thing college would be good for is to network with other kids that may be in, maybe pursuing a, like if you're going to, obviously an Ivy League college, then that makes sense, right? But if you're just going to college because you're going to college and you're going to school for some stupid ass degree, you know, because y'all be pushing that shit. Y'all be the our parents failed us in my opinion, because one, they told us that if you go to school and go to college, you'll get a good job, and then you can get out, and then all you got to do is work until you're 70, and then you work, and then you have a pension. Who the fuck wants to live like that? You guys are okay with that? I'm not. I'm not okay with working 70, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, or working until I'm 40, 50, 60, 70, just to keep working. You know what's crazy is that I've talked about this already. I used to work at Hilton back in 2017, 2016, back when I first heard about Bitcoin. And I was working with these people who are 50, 60 years old working in a call center. And I refuse to be that old working when I'm that age. Okay? It's for me, it's not something that I would want for anybody, right? That's like you working at a job and you chilling next to your grandma, and your grandma mad old, right? Like, dang, grandma, go home, chill, relax, go do something, right? But they can't because the money's fucked up. The money not they're not getting enough for the Social Security. The money's fucked up, so everything's costing more. Everything's crazy, guys. So that this is something that we think is going to be a solution to what's going on, but it's really not. It's actually the problem, right? Instead of, for an example, learning about the Bill of Exchange Act and starting a business, for an example, right? So with that being said, we jumped into the school scam. We already talked about, and I've talked about the 401k scam, where you're paying fees on your 401k, and then you got to pay a penalty if you want to touch it, if you want to use any of that. It's different. It's a fee associated with that, and most people don't even know the fees, and most people are okay with whatever they say with their 401k. Do the math. I posted about this. Go look up why 401k is a scam, and then you'll understand where I'm coming from. School, we talked about the school, we talked about 401k, we're talking about jobs, we talked about the job scam, of course the money scam as well. And I'm just trying to like help you guys understand, like, what you think you're supposed to do, or what you've been told, and what we've been brainwashed, and what society and what we've been indoctrinated indoctrinated into. It's not, that's not the wave, guys. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry to bust your bubble. I'm sorry if you're sensitive and can't handle the truth. Everything that we've been told is a lie, whether you like it or not. School is a scam, 401k is a scam, our money's a scam, you know mortgage backed securities, you guys don't even know what that is, which is crazy. Mortgage backed securities, which is crazy. And that's just one aspect of it. That's mortgage-backed securities. There's other backed securities, which are backed by your signature and your social security number, which they trade on a market and make money hand over fist. And they want you to pay back what you created, which is why I keep telling you guys, you have to look into the Federal Reserve Act, Section 16. You have to look into the Bill of Exchange Act, and you have to understand what's going on. You have to understand what's going on. You have to take time to read. Right? I got paperwork, and I want you guys to understand this. I'm not perfect, and I thought everything was cool. And when I was younger, I didn't know better, right? I thought everything was cool, calm, collective. I have paperwork here because paperwork is going to be you know how they say the pen is mightier than the sword? Absolutely right. When it comes to this legal, you don't have to be a lawyer to know the laws. You don't have to be a lawyer to know your rights. That's why I keep tweeting, guys, know your rights. You need to know your rights because corporations scam the fuck out of everybody, and they're going to continue. Banks scam the fuck out of everybody, and because you're uninformed and because you don't know better, guess what? They're going to keep scamming you. These overdraft fees that I was talking about with Chase Bank, remember I looked up there's a lawsuit with Chase Bank right now, class action lawsuit that just happened. This was like a day or two after we heard about the Chase glitch in the system, and everybody's trying to take money from Chase. Ooh, ooh. Everybody's complaining about somebody's taking money from Chase, but y'all don't say nothing about Chase stealing money from you guys, putting it into a separate account where they have to pay you less interest. Nobody talks about all the billions of dollars that these banks make off overdraft fees, right? Nobody talks about any of the other. Nobody talks about the 2000, 2007, 2008 financial crisis where the banks got bailed out. Nobody ever talks about that. But you guys want to talk about the little man trying to get off on Chase. Not saying that it's right, but you have to understand what's going on. I have a complaint. I have some complaints here for the CEO of Upgrade, the CFO, I'm sorry, of Upgrade, because you got to talk to the people that handle the finances. I know it's backwards, but you know, the, you know, the only way you're going to be able to take it to the next level is to take it to the next level, which is legal. You gotta do that legal. You gotta take it the legal route. You calling up there and talking to the $15 an hour representative that don't know nothing about securities, that don't know nothing about the law, that don't know nothing about nothing. Like you talking to them is a waste of your time. So guess what? You send them a notice. You send them another notice, and then you send them another notice. You give them the time to respond. You give them time to cure. You let them know about your complaint, and then if they don't answer, then you take it to the judge. You build your case. You grab your evidence, and you build your case. And everybody should be able to do that. Everybody should be able to do that. You see what this is? Power of attorney. Power of attorney. Power of attorney. I'm helping somebody. I'm helping my girl out with her case with all these other banks that doing all types of crazy shit, and they think they can just get over on you because they're used to getting over on you because most people don't say nothing, right? No, bro. Stop being a bitch and talk and fight. Stand up for your rights, guys. Like you need to understand that the rights that you have, if you don't use them, then you're gonna lose them. I was just saying this the other day. Like just because like if you're a passenger in someone's car or a guest in someone's car, you got to watch your terminology. If you're in somebody's car and they're driving and they get pulled over, they don't have the right to ask you for your ID. But because you don't know your rights and you don't know the law, you're gonna hand them your ID. And guess what? You didn't have to. You don't have to hand them your ID. We see cops violating people's rights all the time on camera, and you got fucking idiots online saying, "Well, he should have just rolled down his window. He should have just complied with the officer." No, if it's against your rights, then no, you don't fucking comply. We got a bunch of Ned Flanders and dumbass people out here that think they know what the fuck they're talking about, and they don't. Which is why I don't even like engage in discourse and engage in these comments, because here we are. 2024, people don't know their rights. They getting abused by the rights, or they see something on camera where they're clearly being extra aggressive. I don't even know that his name is Tyreek. I don't even know the guy who just got pulled over in front of the football stadium, you know, for speeding. Cool, give him a ticket for speeding. All that extra, all that extra, unnecessary, right? So he should sue not only the city but also that police department, right? So, but yeah, you're only going to be able to do that if you know your rights, right? If you know your rights, then you know your rights, right? Like I said in my previous live, you have a right to travel. I was just at the courthouse before I hopped on live here, and they had people signing up for marriage licenses. You don't need a license to get married. That is you contracting with the government to take half your. That's for you contracting with the government, so that way when you do get a divorce, because most marriages end up in divorce. I think it's like 70% of marriages end up in fucking divorce, right? So that way, when the business because it goes from love to a business transaction, right? And so that way, when you get divorced and your wife takes half of your shit, the state is involved, and now there's nothing you can do, right? This is why most men don't want to get married legally, and don't want to get married at all, right? Because it's a business transaction instead of being quote unquote love. So I say that to say, you don't need a license to get married. You don't need a license to fish. You don't need a license to travel. You don't need a license to bear arms and to have a gun. These are your constitutional rights, but you don't even know your rights, but you want to sit online. You don't even fucking read, but you want to sit online and complain on Twitter and talk shit about somebody for not rolling down his window when he provided his ID. You don't got to roll down your fucking window, right? You don't gotta comply with unjust and unlawful requests, unlawful demands, right? So at that point, it would be wise, obviously, to listen, right? But let them do what they do, and then you just take them up through there. You take it through litigation. You take them up through there, and that's it, right? Also, speaking of traveling, I seen a post about driving with private plates, and somebody said some stupid shit per usual. I saw this. I've been seeing people online on YouTube and it doesn't work. Oh, you're not supposed to like, yo, yo, yo. Please, please go read a book before you start talking crazy. Right? Please go read a book. Please go read the law. Please go read case law. Please go read the Supreme Court ruling. Please go read the Constitution. You have a right to travel. You have a right to fish. You have a right to pursue happiness, right? Life, liberty, and happiness, right? You have a right to do that. You have a right to not get searched. No unreasonable searches and seizures. You have right to record in public. You have a right to free speech. You have a right to assemble and protest peacefully, right? We have all these rights. Shits be getting trampled over because motherfuckers don't read and don't know how to litigate and take their ass up through there. And we just got an uninformed society as a whole. Not only when it comes to money, which is detrimental, but it comes to law, which is why I've been reading so much and why I keep posting things so much on my timeline, like the Bill of Exchange Act, the Federal Reserve Act, the Constitution. I've been tweeting the laws because I don't like to just say things. I'll actually tweet the link to the actual law in the law book, and you guys will not even read it. You guys won't even click on the link. You guys will just be like, all right, cool. Let me scroll, 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 talk about Donald Trump, talk about fucking Kamala Harris, right? Not knowing Donald Trump be dropping game about taxes. Donald Trump be dropping game about, and I'm not saying anything to endorse him. I'm not a voting man, and if I did vote, it would be him. But I'm not a voting man because I'm a national. I'm not a U.S. citizen, so I'm not able to vote, and I'm glad because I don't have time to be dealing with that, and they're not gonna save me anyway. I don't want nobody to save me. I don't need nobody to govern over me. I govern over myself. I'm a grown ass man. For you to be a grown ass man and a grown ass woman online arguing with strangers about your political views is absolutely asinine to me, and I used to do it. And then I grew up, I learned, and I've done better. I know better, so now I'm going to do better. I'm not going to just sit online arguing and complaining, right? When you could be reading a book, educating yourself, stacking some Bitcoin, fixing your credit, getting business credit, learning these laws so that way whenever a corporation tries you, you can stand on law and business and you put them on notice. And then if they don't reply, then you take them up there, right? Then you take them up through there for the court. You build your case. So it's like little things like this that I've been saying for so many years. It just baffles me that nobody like. There's a lot of people that just don't care, right? They just care about the money, and that just goes back to my point where you're a slave to the money. You are a slave to money. You go to work 8 hours a day. Some people got two jobs. Some people got three jobs. You go to work 8 hours plus a day to work to make minimum wage or minimum amount of money because inflation is running rampant, but your paycheck ain't going up. no more, right? Or you get a dollar raise and you be thinking that's okay. Or you gotta ask for permission to go on vacation and you think that's okay. And you gotta ask to go to the bathroom at work and you think that's okay. We just not the same, and that's okay. Not everybody is going to be able to elevate and to read and to do what they need to do to elevate in life. But I had to get on here and let you guys know you guys need to tighten up. You guys need to read. You guys need to read, sit your ass down and read. Get off Twitter and read. I've been off Twitter so much that anytime I tweet now, I don't even get like I don't even get a reach because I haven't been tweeting. So the more you tweet, I guess the more reach you have, and the less you tweet, I guess they just they ain't nobody really they not boosting your post or they're not putting you on people's timeline, which is fine. Or it could be because I'm telling you guys this information that my shit's being suppressed, right? Whether that's the case or not, it doesn't matter, right? Because I'm only trying to help you and everybody that follows me with information. I talk a certain way to piss you off or to piss those people off for a reason. So that way they can say, damn, that's a little bit harsh. Or maybe I don't agree with what he's saying. But let me look in to see what he's saying. What is he talking about? Oh, people are talking peasants. I said peasants. Go look up the word peasants. I don't mean it in a bad way. Just using definitions. Look up the definition of a peasant. It said peasants are worried about and know all the stats of LeBron James, the football, all that shit coming, all the football tweets coming, all that shit getting blocked and muted on my timeline. I don't give a damn about sports, right? But here we go. We got a bunch of sheep watching sports to keep them entertained while the world is crumbling around them, while inflation's running rampant, while they're being stolen from by the U.S. government, while the banks are taking advantage of you, while you over here working to pay bills and the Bill of Exchange Act says all you got to do is endorse your bills the right way, and then whoop, there you go. It's just crazy, guys. It's crazy how people move nowadays. And what's sad is that there's more people that don't care. It's more uninformed people. It's like 95% people are just sheep and like 5% of people are like on it, right? Some people are on it, and some people are just, aware. But it's just sad to see like how even with Bitcoin, like we tell people about Bitcoin because we're trying to help them out. We're trying to make sure that they save and have money to better themselves in the future and to have something for their family, generations to come, because it's going to continue to go up in value forever. But, most people don't even listen, right? Anytime I post on my Facebook page anything about Bitcoin, nothing. I post about anything funny or stupid or anything entertainment wise, all the comments and likes in the world. It's like, man, people are just so like backwards, bro. People are so fucking stupid. It's crazy. And then you got the same people that were in the special class out here, got the same voting rights as you, and people that are just like not competent enough to understand and comprehend what's going on in life. They got the same rights as you. It's like, no, bro. If you was in a slow class, if you was slow in school, you don't have the same rights as me. I don't care if that sounds mean. I don't care if you don't like what I'm saying. I don't care. This is my opinion. If you were in a slow class and you're not competent enough to answer and to comprehend and to handle yourself like an adult, you do not deserve to. I don't even care about voting. You don't deserve to have the same amount of say so as someone who is competent, because there's more stupid people than there is smart people out here, and that means the stupid people are going to overrule and and, and have more say so than the people that are smart. So the smart people are underrepresented because of the small allocation and the small percentage of people that actually use their brain to work and read and do their due diligence, right? Versus the people that are told what to do versus CNN and MSNBC. And then you got the people that took the vaccine and said, "Oh, I only took the vaccine because my job said that if I didn't take it, then I would get fired." That's a lawsuit. They can't tell you what to do with your freaking body, but y'all want to sit over here and scream and say my body, my choice. But how come y'all didn't say that with that though? And then y'all got mad at people for not doing it. And then y'all stayed in the house and what's it called? What y'all do? What y'all do when y'all sat at the crib by yourself? So people didn't get to see their family members. Not lockdown. Um, Quarantine. Some of y'all quarantined in your crib for a week. All you had to do is go outside and get some sun. I traveled all 2020. That shit was not stopping me. That shit was not stopping me. Mask. I was just at the courthouse. There's a lady walking around with a mask on in the courthouse. To this day, there's people walking around with mask on. So it is, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about society. It's just crumbling before our eyes. We just got sheep out here doing sheep activities about shit that they don't got no business complaining about. We got people that read, people that are not doing the best they can do with what they got, right? Ah, There's just so much. There's just so much to cover, and I don't have any more time. School scam, money scam, job scam, 401k scam. You didn't know that your social security card is the number. I'm telling you that that your social security card is the credit card. I heard this years ago. Didn't pay it any mind, which I should have paid it more mind. But I was dealing. I started my business when I first heard that. I was just dealing with so much. I didn't really, and it was just like, what do you mean? It's the credit card. Okay, I got the gist of it, but I didn't do any deep dive into actually look into it. Your social security card is the credit card because without you applying for that particular product or service, there is no money, I guess you could say, Federal Reserve notes. So without you, there is no transaction. You are the creditor and they are the borrower. This is why I keep telling you guys, the banks are the borrowers. I posted the law that says that the banks are the borrowers. We are the investors in these businesses. Like your phone bill, you're the investor. You should be, your interest rate is the interest that they're supposed to be paying you on these financial products. They're taking your social security number, your signature in that application, and they're turning it in there. That's your collateral, that's your security, and they're selling that on the market. And whether you understand it or not, it's going down. Like I just said, there's mortgage-backed securities where they take the mortgage note, that paper, that application, and they sell it. They sell the application, they sell the paper, they sell the note, which is crazy. And they do that with everything that we use our credit for. So therefore, if you understand that and you understand that, okay, I can claim interest, I can claim equity. There should be equity means equitable, right? It should be beneficial on both sides, right? Should be beneficial on both sides of the equation because you're contracting in with that particular corporation. If you understand that, then you understand, okay, well, damn, how does that play into the Bill of Exchange Act? How does that play with the Federal Reserve notes? Federal Reserve Act, Section 16. How does this all play into what's going on in life? Damn, everything's been a scam. They've been lying to us about everything. You're telling me that the Federal Reserve note says that the Bill of Exchange Act says that if you endorse a bill that it's a check, and you're telling me that the law says that, not what I say, not what Joe down the street says, not what Bob says, not what Sally says. No, the law says that an endorsed bill is a check. So that means if I do my due diligence and I look this up, that you're telling me that there's an act where I can exchange my bills and turn it into a check. I know it sounds crazy because trust me, when I heard this, I'm like, yeah, right. I don't want to hear that, bro. It sound crazy. You gonna get locked up. You gonna do this. You gonna do that. No, no, no. But it's not. It's not crazy. It's only crazy because you're not informed and you're not intelligent. It's like if you're a Bitcoiner, you didn't know that the money was fucked up until you learned that the money was fucked up. You didn't know that you were a slave until you understood that they keep stealing from you via inflation. So when you understand this, you're like, hold up. Then you're like, hold up. You're telling me that my whole life y'all been lying about everything. So you're telling me that my social security card, my social security number, when I applied, created the account. You're telling me that I'm the creditor and you're the debtor and you're the borrower. But you guys have been saying that I'm the debtor and you're the creditor. It's just so much, and if you're not like tuned in and you're not trying to, if you're not trying to like learn this information, that's okay. And I'm like to the point where I can only help those who want to help themselves, which I've always been trying to help everybody. But you know when you learn this, and you try to tell people and they look at you like you're crazy, or even when I try to tell people to fix their credit and they get business credit, and then they just like, okay. And then I showed them getting approved for $17,000 with Stripe, getting approved for a $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 credit cards, getting my brother credit cards, business credit cards, getting my clients business credit cards, getting you know friends of mine credit limit increases for $7,000, $6,000 with the click of a button. Like just like things like that. And people sit here and say, oh, I don't have any money to invest, or I don't know what to do, or I don't they don't they're just like, they think a 401k is good. They think having a 9 to 5 job is good. I'm not in that boat. I never was in that boat. Even when I did have a job, I couldn't stand being told what to do. I knew something deep down when I found out, like, I don't know if you guys seen Zeitgeist, but I saw Zeitgeist, and I know it's not 100%, accurate. Not saying that it is, but when I saw like them, I saw this probably back when I was like 15, 16. Back when you was on YouTube and you could find like the real shit. You saw faces of death. You saw people getting murdered. You saw like crazy shit back before YouTube got all, you know, before they got to the way they is now, right? I saw a whole bunch of crazy stuff on YouTube, and seeing Zeitgeist and just seeing how like everything that we've been told is a lie even back then. And I don't agree with their religious outtake, and with all that stuff. But just the whole just seeing how everything that's a lie. And when you find out like all that stuff as a young buck, you're like, yo, I don't even know. I don't even know. You don't even know what to do at that point, right? As a youngin, but you're like, it's like you're a sheep, right? Because you're having to go with the crowd, and you're having to work, and you're having to do things that you really don't want to do. But because we're in a society that forces you to work, and forces you to pay excessive tax if you don't know what you're doing, and forces you to think a certain way versus thinking outside the box, right? It's just so like, I always knew something was wrong with the system. I just knew it deep down inside. I always knew that there was something not right. Bitcoin helped, expanded that as well. But I already knew, I already knew something wasn't right with the system, in general. Um, you know, Once they took us off the gold standard, everything is debt. Everything is old. The United States pays all the debt. Everything's paid for by the United States. So there is no debtor. I tweeted that as well. What debt? The United States covers all debt. Look it up. I'm not telling you this because it just sounds good. No, look it up. United States covers all debt. They cover all the debt. They cover all the debt. But you have to know how to you got to know how to operate. You got to know how to, you got to know how to conduct yourself. You got to read. You're not going to know what to do about anything if you don't read. Most of y'all, and you know what's funny? Most people don't even read the fucking Bitcoin white paper. They keep asking what Bitcoin's about. Explain it to me. Read. Read the Bitcoin white paper. And that's what's wrong with society, is that we're so money hungry that we're looking for the next pump and dump scam. We're looking for XRP, which is a fucking scam token. We're looking for, Ethereum, pre-mine, proof of stake, scam token. Of course there can be utility for these scam tokens, but come on, man. Why would you go for a scam token when you can go for the real deal? Why would you go for, you know, chicken when you can go for a steak, sirloin, filet, right? Why would you do that? I don't know. Some people like to be. Some people like to give excuses. Some people like being victims. Some people enjoy being brokies. Some people enjoy the victim mentality. I already told you guys. I don't. This whole. They find every way to divide us: race, religion, class. We're all humans, but they know exactly what they're doing. Republican, Democrat, they know exactly what they're doing. They making sure that you guys are so busy fighting with each other and too busy working and too busy in school. They make sure that your whole fucking day is busy, so you don't have time to read, so you don't have time to figure out what's going on. You just running in that circle, that rat race, that hamster wheel. And I've been quiet to read to get what's going on. And if I couldn't be on here talking to you guys about Bitcoin and about everything if I didn't understand it, you know. I just love seeing the people that helped influence and help learn about Bitcoin. I love seeing them help other people and get into Bitcoin, and people selling shit that they don't really want or need to buy more Bitcoin because long term they understand the game. And that's just like 1% of people. 99% of other people are buying stocks. 99% of other people are buying real estate. Real estate is trash. Stocks are trash. Everything's going to be repriced and everything goes to zero against Bitcoin. So people just don't use their brain. If everything is going to zero against Bitcoin, why the fuck are you buying stocks? Why the fuck are you buying real estate? Real estate is good for taxes and two, cash flow. If that's not what you're looking to do, why the fuck are you buying real estate? Especially when when your real estate is not going to go up 10x or add another zero. You know, it, it's going to go up in value. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's not. Right? All assets are gonna go up in value when the dollar drops in value, because that's all it is. That's all you're measuring things by, is by your U.S. dollar. Your house ain't really go up in value. It's just the dollar is going down. And when you understand that, you get to understand that why are you working for something that's going to continue to deplete, like the ice cube is going to continue to melt. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you subjugate? And that's the thing that brings me to the kids, right? Why do you subjugate your kids to this bullshit? It's one thing for you to be stupid and for you to live that life and for you to adopt bullshit and a certain way of living, and you think it's okay. It's not okay, but you're delusional and you think it's okay and you continue to live this way. It's fucked up that you think that way, but it was even more fucked up is that you're going to teach your kids to do the same thing. You don't teach your kids about business. You're expecting the school and you're expecting society to teach your kids. You guys couldn't wait to get you damn kids back into school from C-19 lockdowns, right? I have videos of my son. I got to teach my son about fractional reserve banking. I got to teach my son about Bitcoin. He heard me talking about Bitcoin all the time when I was on Clubhouse. I got to teach my son what finances are, what our credit score is. I got to teach him what a commercial building is. I got to teach him so much stuff because he was home with me, and none of that was ever and will never be taught in public school. But you guys are in a rush to send your kids back to school. Why? Because you got to go back to work. Oh, this, that, and the third. Y'all can homeschool your kids and get paid. I think Donald Trump said something that he'll pay you to homeschool your kids. But y'all don't want to do it then. I don't get y'all. I don't get y'all at all. But you're gonna continue. See, that's what they make sure that there's more sheep coming to keep the system coming, and there's more fucking idiots out there than anything else. So there's gonna be more and more people to continue to perpetuate the current system. And not only that, they're bringing in people from all over the country, all over the world into the country illegally. So they're gonna set up shop. They're gonna run rampant. They don't care, bro. They're gonna get socials and they're gonna get add more debt and they're gonna work it, work it, work, and it's just gonna continue. And here we are, here in 2024. Y'all ever thought about what's gonna be like in 2025? I mean 2034, 10 years from now? Have y'all ever thought about what it's gonna be like 10 years from now? Have y'all ever thought about Have y'all ever thought about what your kids are going to be doing for work in the future? And maybe they should probably have a business because AI is moving in a it's quantum leaping, right? Because the technology that we have is just so far in advance now. There's going to be AI. We got AI taking over everybody's jobs, all the stupid jobs that most people have a fucking attitude about when they're working, right? If you have an attitude, you shouldn't be working there first and foremost. If you're having a bad day, understandable, but you shouldn't be mad at your job. You're the one who chose to work at that job. I hate dealing with people that are having bad attitudes. But here we are. There's going to be no jobs out there for your kids. You're telling your kids to go to school to get into massive student loan debt that they won't be able to pay off. They're going to get out of school in debt, not going to be able to find a job, drowning in debt. The interest on the debt is going to continue to accrue. Lawyers, whew, we already talked about this. Lawyer student loans, crazy. Doctor student loans, crazy. Crazy. The craziest thing. I had a lawyer that I hope fixed her credit, and her student loans was like 300,000, 400,000. I'm like, I've never seen student loans this high, ever in my life, ever. And I've been doing people's credit for a long time. She pays on them. Don't get me wrong, she pays on them, but I'm like, 300,000 in student loan debt to be a lawyer? Not I. And you don't have to be a lawyer to learn the law. Obviously, you want to have you like if you want to go to your bar card and all that stuff. And I talked about the bar card, which is a British accredited. It's like, what does Great Britain got to do with our legal system? Hopefully, you guys look that up. If not, I don't care. It's just so many things, guys. It's just so many things that we don't think about. The kids is the most important thing. Like the Bitcoin is for the kids. The education and the future is the kids, right? Your kids are probably not going to be dealing with fiat. If you're having kids now and they're young, if you have young kids right now, they're probably not going to be dealing with fiat when they're older. They're not going to be able to have a regular job. They're not going to be able to have a regular job, working at Publix, bagging up groceries and, getting your foot in the door and just, learning how to work like that. Nah, the robots taking over. They making you bag your own groceries right now. They making you bag your own groceries at Publix right now. Okay? But you are setting your children up for failure if you don't teach them about business, if you don't teach them to read the right things, like fractional reserve banking, the Federal Reserve Act, Section 16, the Bill of Exchange, just to name a few. Life is not what you think it is. Life is what you make it. But what we've been told is not it. Everything's a lie. Everything's a lie. I'm trying to tell you guys, and it's crazy because you don't understand it until you get to a certain point and you get to a certain level in your life where you're reading the laws, you're reading the facts, and you're getting out of your feelings. I used to not like Donald Trump. Nah, fuck with Trump. Why did I not like Donald Trump? Because the media told me not to like Trump. Trump was racist. Trump is quote unquote racist. But all the rappers was fucking with Trump. All the rappers before Trump was even running for president, all the rappers was fucking with Trump. So how is he all of a sudden racist? They be talking crazy about him. And I'm not saying he's perfect, and I'm not saying that he don't lie. I'm not saying any of that. All the politicians lie. So anybody getting upset that he's lying, you're an idiot because they all lie. They all lie. Every last politician lie. That's their job, is to lie to you because y'all can't handle the fucking truth. Y'all can't handle the truth. Because even when he be telling you the truth, y'all can't fucking handle it. Y'all can't fucking handle it. So again, not saying that he's actually a shit coiner, right? He's launching some type of shit coin coming up, or some type of network, right? He gonna make his money. Not it is what it is. Nothing that we can do. He gonna do what he do. He's gonna do what he do. The point is, he be saying a lot of shit that be going over your head because y'all are too emotionally involved in things instead of logically thinking about it. I have his book on the tax code, the Donald Trump tax code, that I've been telling you guys about for years. Nobody, no, everybody's, most people are just so aggravated with him and upset about what he says versus, what he actually does as a businessman. The United States of America is a corporation, whether you want to acknowledge that or accept that or not. So him being a businessman is actually beneficial for the society or for the country because it is a corporation, because it is a business. So people don't be talking about you don't. Yeah, he's racist, but he freed the two blackest, the two, and I don't even like this term black. I don't know what the fuck this term black came from, where it came from. I don't identify as black. I don't like the term and the word black. I don't like calling anybody black, but that's what y'all like to call people of color and brown people. Y'all call them black for some reason, and I don't agree with it, right? But I'm gonna use y'all terminology, black people, which is fucking stupid in my opinion. I've never been identified, or I've never identified as black or African American because that's a fucking oxymoron. That's two fucking continents. How can you be from two fucking continents? And America includes North America, Central America, and South America, and the Caribbean, right? And and Haiti, I guess, to be considered Americans is in the Caribbean. I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. So these, and Canada is in North America. So America is the entire Western Hemisphere. So most people don't even understand that. Most people think that all quote unquote black people came here on boats. You guys are fucking stupid. Not everybody came here on boats that were brown, okay? And on top of that, where did all the Native Americans go? They didn't kill all the Native Americans, guys. Like, Kanye always be seeing. The craziest thing is that Kanye be telling y'all shit, and y'all be calling him crazy. He's a visionary. I understand why he be going through the shit that he be going through. When you see shit like that, and you understand what's going on way before everybody else, everybody calls you fucking crazy. Where are all the Native Americans? Why they're the Native Americans are our color, as my color skin tone. We like they call them red skins, right? Red skin. They're dark Indians as well. They are Nasdaq Indians as well. The Indians are just Native American people. So I already know what's up. Most people don't know what's up. You only know what you're taught in school because y'all don't fucking read. Okay? Of course there were people that were sold and brought over here on the ships. Cool. But not everybody that is of a brown complexion came over here on a ship. And if you think that, you're a fucking idiot. As simple as that. Read a book. Read a book, please. Read a couple books. I'm tired of the racial division, but I digress. If y'all are calling people black, we're gonna say black. So if Donald Trump is so racist, why did he free Kodak Black, the blackest motherfucking rapper? Why did he free Lil Wayne? People don't think logically, they think emotionally, and it's stupid. Meanwhile, you got racist ass Joe Biden on camera saying the N word, saying a whole bunch of crazy shit about black people, but y'all disregard that, overlook that. But here we are, 2024. Everything you've been told is a lie. Everything you've been told is a lie. I got a mentorship program where I teach you how to make money three, four, five different ways for only $5,000, where you can learn how to make six figures plus in each one of those businesses, most people won't invest. I teach you guys how to make a credit repair business on autopilot where you don't even have to work, show you step by step how to set it up. You know, most people don't want to invest. I have a do it yourself ebook for like 20 bucks or something crazy cheap with all the letters that we use. Most people don't want to invest. I have a I have a credit builder program, free credit builders so you can build your own credit, you know, that I post on my line on my link tree. Most people don't want to invest and don't want to take the time to build their credit for free, of course, for free. I've given away my do it yourself ebooks for free. I've given away lots of information for free. I've given away Bitcoin for free. I've given away so much time and energy for free and don't ask anybody for a dime except for my services, right? But most people won't invest. Most people don't invest. Most people don't read. And it just got me thinking, like, yo, the Bitcoin life is good and everything that we've been told is a lie. And if you're not gonna realize that, if you don't realize that by now, whew, if you still stuck, and there's a lot of people that are NPCs and non-playable characters. There's a lot of people that don't care what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people that are gonna hear what I'm talking about and still continue to live the way they live. And how you that's how it's gonna be, right? Only you can take action for your life. But being a Bitcoiner out here in this world is crazy. It's crazy because you see through the bullshit, you see through the lies, you see through everything that we've been told. Federal Reserve notes, fiat currency, securities, application, social security numbers, legal, legal terminology, motions, defendants, plaintiffs, claims, all that good shit, right? What I've been learning so much, what I've been learning is so much. I can understand why people don't, because you don't have time to do that because you in the rat race. So my phone is burning my hands hot. I'm sure the phone's about to die anyway because I've been on here ranting for about, yeah, phone's about to die. I've been on here ranting for about an hour. So with that being said, this is Bitcoin Chris. I hope the information that I drop, pisses you off enough to, or you look it up yourself and pisses you off and makes you realize that I'm not just talking just to talk, guys. I'm talking to make you realize that something ain't right. I knew it a long time ago. I'm 35. I knew this when I was young. And I mean young by like I knew this at 16, 17, 18. I knew something wasn't right. I knew something wasn't right. So hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from. If you're young, I salute to the young bucks that are, learning about their credit, learning about business. Salute to you, older people. Shout out to you. Um, and shame on you if you're trying to tell your kids to do the same thing you did because it's not going to work. You're only setting your kids up for failure.